updates regarding the ongoing encounter in Jammu and Kashmir, especially Kulgam area. But more news coming in. A day of political significance is upon us as the election for the next Vice President of India is set to take place tomorrow. The political landscape is abuzz with activity as both the ruling National Democratic Alliance and the opposition India Bloc have announced their candidates, setting the stage for a high-stakes electoral contest. The BJP, confident in its parliamentary numbers, has put forward Maharashtra Governor C.P. Radhakrishnan, a seasoned leader with a long political career and administrative experience. Meanwhile, the India Bloc has fielded B. Sudarshan Reddy, a former Supreme Court judge, highlighting his judicial background and commitment to constitutional values. With the contest now clearly defined, let's take a closer look at the intricate process that will determine who becomes the next Vice President. So now I'll be going over to the big wall over there and telling you exactly how exactly does this process take place. When we're talking about Vice President election, obviously the big question of the hour is who is going to be the next Vice President. There are several details are emerging in terms of the election process that I'll be explaining to you in terms of the Vice President election. Now, eligibility must be a citizen of India, must be at least 35 years old and must be qualified for election as a Rajya Sabha member. So those are the eligibility criteria for a Vice presidential election. And more in terms of electoral college, elected and nominated members of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha and the state legislative assemblies not involved. So those are the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha are the only ones that are involved in terms of the electoral college. When we're talking about the method of election, election held via single transferable vote and secret ballot, and nomination process is a candidate must be proposed by at least 20 electorals and seconded by another 20. So that's the process of the method of election that we're talking about of the Vice Presidential election. How is the winner decided now? A candidate needs to secure 50% of the vote. So for a winner to be decided, at least 50% vote has to be secured by the winner. If no candidate meets the quota, a process of vote transfers begins. So another thing is the vote transfer is another thing that is in the process of electing a Vice President. And another thing to note is the candidate with the fewest first reference vote is eliminated. So that's the elimination process, and their votes are then transferred to the next preference. So there's an order of priority that will be the transfer of votes that can be seen, and this process repeats until a candidate reaches the quota and the Election Commission of India announces the winner. So obviously it's a series of process where the transfer of votes take place and the elimination process are also involved in that. And what if a member abstains? An abstained vote is not counted. Only valid votes are used to calculate the quota, and this has no direct effect on the vote count. So that's exactly the election process that we have decoded for you when we're talking about the Vice Presidential election.